Okay, folks, we're having major difficulties here. So I've had to create this new Hangout on Air live. So I'm just about to invite Abigail to the new thing and post some links around in the hope that people will actually be able to see this. Bear with me whilst I try and talk to you. And this is going to be one of the most boring things in the world. To actually get everybody live. So bear with me whilst I am trying to do some stuff. Please click on this link. Okay, and then I'm going to chattering with Abigail Blackmore, and there's a new link to the public event. So bear with me. Aha, one viewer. Somebody has spotted the fact that we're live. Hi, somebody. And I'm going to try just edit the event. Placement. Identify things. So this is going to be really, really interesting, folks. Bear with me whilst I try and battle with these technical difficulties. I probably shouldn't. So as you join me, you will find chattering there. Okay. New event. Link. There. Okay, we've got 2 viewers. I haven't got Abigail yet, but I'm not surprised because we're having just so much fun. Bear with me. For those of you who've been hanging around for the last 20 minutes, do apologize. And I'm trying to sort out, okay, so I'm going to click here. Okay, so Abby hopefully is trying to get, so it may just be me on this replacement, the way we're going at the moment, so bear with me. My line at the moment is just bear with me. Trying all sorts of things to resolve these issues. And just closing down a few extra windows that I've had to open up. Right, so yeah, sorry, I'm just talking to you now whilst I'm waiting for things to resolve themselves. Trying to call me again. Okay. If you click on the link above, what happens? Right. Thank you, all 3 viewers. Sorry, this is trying to keep a conversation going whilst I'm actually trying to I shouldn't have gone live. I should have just waited until I've actually had Abby on board, and this would be far more interesting than what you're actually watching now. And if I'm just going to try another couple of things. Please try this again. Honestly, I can't actually speak and actually do. I honestly am not a multitasker. Second part is the password. Yeah, I've got 2 viewers, but we still don't seem to be able to get Abby in. Okay. What I'm going to do is just I'm going to try another thing. Right. So the problem we have at the moment is we've got 2 video calls. Abby's trying to call me whilst I'm trying to call her. So that's part of the problem. So bear with me. And I'm going to message. Sorry. I'm hoping everyone is quite happy to bear with me whilst I just chunted to myself, basically. Okay. Please hang up your call. You've hung up. Be typing. This must be as much fun as watching. Yes, I think we've got 2 calls going on at the moment. This is the real problem. So this is not Abigail's fault. Something very strange, just to let you know, and the reason I've been panicking and struggling is because normally when I start a Google Hangout on air, it allows me to broadcast live, which is what I'm doing now. But all the Hangout was doing was just doing a simple call rather than a Hangout on air live. So it's kind of assumed that it was a Hangout on air live, but it didn't actually have the start broadcast button. That's why I had to right. Okay. So I'm frantically typing away with Abby. Appear in my call. Right. So as I say, so folks, we are struggling just trying to getting. I'm going to give this about another 5 minutes or so, and then we might just say that we have to try another thing. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what's going on. We've got 2 calls going on. So Abby's trying to call me, and I'm obviously trying to get her into this video call. So bear with us whilst I try and sort that out. Sorry, folks, this kind of technical stuff sometimes happens. Certainly not Abigail's fault. This is one of those technical things, and we're both struggling to try and get this resolved. Bear with me. So It's very strange. Never had this happen before. 2 years of doing this, and I think we've only actually had to abandon one call before. But yes, so strange things are going on today, folks. This I'm going to get rid of this thing after we've finished. But we'll carry on trying to see if we can actually get Abigail on board. Again, sorry, I'm just on air live whilst I'm trying to talk to people. And thank you for all viewers, whoever you are. It's very patient of you. 3 viewers. Aha.
Are we here? Hang on, I can't hear you. Okay, talk to me, Nicholas. I can't hear you. Oh, there you are. Okay, good.
Oh my goodness. This is just going to be the most... This is just going to be the most extraordinary one. Folks, I do apologize. This is half an hour late. I have no idea what happened there. This is not you. This is
no, I don't take any responsibility.
This is nothing to... This is just bizarre. I mean, basically, everything was set up in the normal way, but there was no start broadcast button. So I could have chatted to you, but nobody, it wouldn't have been recorded. Nobody would have seen us. And so on. So that's what's been going on. For those of you who've stuck with it.
Is anyone here?
They are. We've got at least 3 viewers, which is pretty good. I mean, there were on the original one. And I have pasted a link to this call on the so that people should be able to find it as well. Craig.
Okay.
Hello, right. I'm just going to shout downstairs the real technical thing we have going on in this household. Is the link to this new live hangout on the old one working? Silence from downstairs. He'll look into that.
No, I have to apologise. I do have a cough.
Oh no! Trust me.
Yeah.
That is the least of our problems this evening.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So bear with me. I'm just going to close down some windows just to make sure that I've got stuff going on. Right, and I'm going to open up another window just here, just to make sure that I can actually see what else is going on. So just in case people are using Twitter to communicate with us. Right then, I'm now all set up. Hello, Abigail. How are you?
Brilliant, thanks. Drunk, you know. No, I'm not drunk. I'm fine, thanks.
Drunk
This
seems...
is only my second.
Yeah, oh, cool. Being drunk in this situation strikes me as wonderful.
I thought it couldn't hurt. It doesn't take anything away from the conversation.
What I was going to talk to you about, what I'm going to do is, whilst we're just to make sure, see, and we've now got 5 viewers, so people are slowly coming over from the original one as well. Craig, could you? Sorry, I just have to shout downstairs to actually get this done. Could you tweet the link to the new Hangout with the hashtag chattering Nick, just in case there's anybody else out there as well. Right then.
Right, can you phone my mum? Thanks. Laundry.
Everyone should have a Craig in their lives.
I need a Craig.
Yeah, everyone needs a Craig. Yeah, he runs my life for me. So thank you very much indeed for joining me. Now we're through all this. What I was, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because I've had a chance to have a look at some of your early stuff on your website. And
That's my really early stuff. Yeah, go on.
And one of the things I wanted is Muldoon. Your little series of YouTube videos, Muldoon. How on earth did that come about?
Well, I shot the first one in this position. I'm in my kitchen with my laptop in front of me. Well, I've just been a frustrated filmmaker for a long time, and one of my best friends was living in the States. I think I can't remember where she was. She might have been in Nashville. Anyway, she was we both had a child. Both are, you know, at about the same age. My child was about 2 or something, and so we wanted to do something together. So I suggested, how about we make kind of video messages to each other, video letters, and put them on YouTube and just, you know, pretend they're real. But maybe we can, you know, we could just heighten the competitiveness of the parenting, just make it a little bit weird. Because she's an actor as well. We went to drama school together. The drama school you know very well, I know.
Oh, but, yes, of course. We're both alumni of Mount View Theatre School.
Yeah. And so we just started like that. It was just basically us giggling about just putting something on YouTube and seeing if anyone, well, we didn't expect anyone to watch it, to be honest. It was just to entertain ourselves. So that's how it happened. So yeah, it's just us kind of sending video letters to each other, and it gets quite weird quite quickly.
It gets very weird very quickly. Did you just improvise it?
Yeah.
And it's just really, I have to say, folks, go on to Abigail's website, which is on the and I'll transfer all the links across and I'll make sure they're on Facebook. They're on Facebook at the moment. It is one of the most bizarre. Craig was saying that, you know, talking to the dog earlier on, because that often happens in this household. You know, he's basically saying to Bertie, "Come on, Bertie, we're just going to leave Nick in paroxysms of laughter."
That's nice.
My favourite line from it is, what's your friend's name, by the way?
Kim.
Kim is just on one of her video letters. Like, there are no words. I'm going to sing a song. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's only 12 videos. They're only about between 1 and 3 minutes each. And they are, it's just the escalation. It is just wonderfully dark humor. Have you got it set up as a playlist anywhere on?
I think so. I think it's on YouTube. I get very confused about my YouTube channels, because I had one. Yeah, I had one for my film Blind Date. Completely can't sign into that anymore. I have no idea what went wrong there. And then I think I've got my own one. I couldn't tell you what it is, but that's where I've got Muldoon, and that's why I've got my website. So I've put everything on there, and hopefully you can just click on the links.
You can just work your way through them and so on.
Yeah,
I'll see.
One centre for all my stuff.
Yeah.
So I created abigailblackmore.co.uk. Put it all on there.
Right. Well, if you haven't had a chance to have a look at Abigail's website, there's a couple of other things I'm going to talk to her about as well. But to say Muldoon is just what I think that just struck me, and I was killing myself giggling with it. But okay, so good. So you started. Is that what you started at? You mentioned we trained at Mount View Theatre School a long time.
Yeah,
different times, much younger than I am. Is that what you always wanted to start out as an actress? Is that where you saw your career going originally?
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't even occur to me that I could create my own work at all. No one said, no, it just didn't occur to me. We didn't have any of that at Mount View. In fact, I think the year after we left, they started a stand-up course, and I was really gutted. Well, it wasn't even a year later, but it was a while later, and I thought, I could have really done with that. Just to write your own stuff and try it out, because that is my main piece of advice to people, to actors. Any young actor these days, I'll say, just write something and get out there, go do stuff on the comedy scene, because it's very, very small community of people. And there's a lot of respect there. If you can get up and do something live on stage that you've put together yourself, rather than, you know, waiting for other people to hire you, then that's actually a lot easier. It's a much easier way to get work. I found I actually ended up getting work by moving away from the audition treadmill and not getting any work. Then I got into improvisation by my friend Jana Carpenter, who's another Mount View alumnus.
Aluminium.
That's the one. She persuaded me to take some improv classes, and it changed my life completely. I fell in love with it. I was just raving about it. I was evangelical about it, and for one thing, it teaches you how to tell stories, and that's another thing a lot of actors don't know. They don't know, like, how to structure a story and why stories work, and even if you don't want to get up on stage and improvise, it's really useful in auditions, I think, to be loose, because you can fall back on it. It takes the fear away, I think, as well. So I was an actor, and then through improvisation, I realized I was writing again, because I actually started my first novel when I was about 15, inspired by Jackie Collins and Stephen King. And I think it was about a girl who was mourning her father or something, and it was really bad. I think I only wrote about 15 pages, but, you know, they were from the heart.
I congratulate that. I think I started my first play when I was about 9, but I got half a page. I think it was, you know, I literally half a page, and I think it was to do with the murder of Thomas à Becket. And
oh wow,
you know, the sort of dark things that I was obviously into as a kid. I love the combination of Jackie Collins and Stephen King. I think there's a big market for that out there. I think you should look at it again, because I swear there's a huge market out there for, you know, taking Jackie Collins and yeah, no, there'd be a huge market for that.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah, so, and then I didn't write anything for years, and then I wrote a play called Kit Kat Shuffle, which is a title I totally nicked from Joe Brand. And that we put that on at Hen and Chickens for like 3 or 4 performances, and everyone's like, I can't believe you actually did this. Like, you wrote something and you did it, you put it out there. And I think that was the most impressive thing to my friends. Wasn't the quality of the work, it was just the fact I got off my ass and I went, I'm going to do this, and I did it. Because so many actors, we're just constantly waiting. We're waiting, aren't we, for somebody to give us permission. I just realised my laptop isn't plugged in, so let me just do that.
Losing battery before, like, halfway through this conversation. Yeah. That would just, yeah.
20 minutes. There we go. So yes, taking away the permission, just doing it. And actually James Wren, who runs the Hen and Chickens, he went to Mount View too. So we stayed in touch, and he's actually got his own film festival now, starting this month. His first, it's all great. And Mark Liminster, he works at the Hen and Chickens, and he's an ex-Mount View. I'm just going to name all the ex-Mount View people. I'm going to out them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going fuzzy. You're going a bit fuzzy. Are you going a bit low res on me?
Oh, sorry. Maybe the laptop. No. It's just going to be the ether, basically. I can still hear you. You're still there.
Oh.
And it's either that or the alcohol, one of the two. Okay, so it's very interesting. I've met other actors again who had this thing of just, I would imagine it's terrifying, the thought of walking up on stage, even for just 3 minutes, and just trying to entertain an audience, you know, with stuff you have written, and you're there. It must be very naked in terms of, you must feel incredibly vulnerable doing stand-up.
Well, I didn't do stand-up as such. I did sort of sketch. I did improvisation with other people, and I did kind of narrative sketch stuff, almost like portmanteau sketch. I wrote a show and took it to Edinburgh, and And I realised now that it was actually a portmanteau sketch show, which is quite funny because I'm more into portmanteau horror. So I haven't done, well, the only time I did do stand-up once, and that was in this terrible indie film that I really zero budget film that I got an acting role in, a really good part actually. When I saw it back, I was like, oh, no, it wasn't bad. I thought this was terrible, but it wasn't too bad. But my character was a stand-up comedian. And the director said, we're going to put you in a open mic night in High Barnet. It's going to be a night. There are going to be comedians performing and you're going to perform. He said, do you want me to write you something? And I went, no way, you're not writing me anything. If I'm going to do this, I'm writing it. There's no way I'm letting you write my jokes because it's not going to be funny. So I ended up just putting together this set. I'd never done anything like it before. I ended up, okay, here's a quick taster of my set. I said, right, I haven't got any jokes. But I do have a party trick. Has anyone got a handbag I can borrow? So this girl gave me a handbag. And I went, I'm going to burp the alphabet, but I've never got past K without puking. So I opened the handbag. So then I made a real meal about burping each letter, trying not to vomit, holding the handbag, and then I eventually get to the end. And I go, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for lending me your bag. This is awful. I hope none of my family are watching. And then I reach into my trousers and I pull out this massive panty pad. And then I put it in her. I go, this is for you. And I put it in her handbag. And I gave it back to her. And my friend, Jana, was at the back laughing her head off. And it was just so great to hear her cackling because it was so outrageous. But then the great thing was afterwards, all the young comedians were coming up to me and going, that was great. Were you doing some more nights? And I was like, no, I'm never doing it again. This was just a horrible thing that happened. But yeah, that was my stand-up.
Wow. Well, I remember going to one stand, and I have to admit, this one joke, not mine, went to a stand-up because I'd met an actor and he invited me. He was doing stand-up that night, exactly the same as you were saying, a way of just saying, I'm an actor. He was doing very well. He was getting TV parts and so on. He said, there is just something about that thing of doing it yourself. You've got an audience, tremendously supportive, etc. It wasn't him, but it was somebody else who just walked on stage, stared at the audience, and he did this for about 30, 40 seconds, and we're just watching him. And he said, it's all right, I'm buffering.
Oh.
And it was so clever, and I think most of the stuff that he did thereafter was all about technology jokes and iPhones and stuff. But it was just that thing of just standing there. It's okay, I'm buffering.
He could have taken out an umbrella and started twirling it in front of him for ages as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I think it was the fact that he was just great. It was really. Yeah, it really is. Just to stand up there and do. I'm amazed. I would love to have the courage to do something like that. Okay, so
once gone. Yeah.
No, okay.
I'll be there laughing at the back.
If it ever happens, I will. Yeah, I will. Trust me, it would. I would. Yeah, it's something to think of. But it's just kind of like, I don't. Yeah, I will have a long, hard think about that one. So okay, so. Improvisation and so on. You obviously started your first novel at 15. Have you ever written short fiction? Have you written fiction apart from?
No, I don't really enjoy writing.
Oh, sorry, Abigail.
I like to. Go on. Have you lost me?
Sorry, we were losing you. Just that you're saying you don't really like writing fiction, or you just don't like.
I don't really write prose. Oh, me again. I lost you a bit, but I don't really enjoy the act of describing stuff. I prefer to go, these people are here, and we know why they're here because I've set up a situation and this is what they say or do. Yeah, I'm just not very good at description. That's what it boils down to.
Okay, so you wrote play, which went
Yeah.
on for 3 days.
Yeah.
How did that then translate into, what was the first? Because you've got other stuff on your website, Twister a Sister. How did that come about?
Because that came about out of necessity. I needed, okay, so I've got a daughter. I was around my friend's house. She's got 2 daughters. They wanted to play Twister, but they wanted us to do the spinner. And we were like, we don't want it. We want to chat. If only. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be great if there was a YouTube video I could put on with somebody doing the spinner? Just put that on and they can just. So it kind of went from there, and I thought, right, I'm going to make that. And then I got other people involved and some great people. Mackenzie Crook did one. He took my spinning board to the Iceland while he was shooting Game of Thrones and did it on the tundra, which is hilarious. I mean, that is one of the funniest things.
It was like, this is just so bizarre. Mackenzie Crook has got a tweet, okay. It makes sense. So what was the first film that you wrote?
Actually, it's hard to say, but it would probably have to be Blind Date, because that had a proper script.
Right.
As opposed to some of the stuff that I threw together. Yeah, I mean, there's a thing called Goodbye Goodbye, the trailer, not a trailer, it's an advert. I don't know if you saw that. That's on the website. It's called Goodbye Goodbye, and it's a commercial for an assassination agency.
I don't think I saw that one.
And that is actually just a promo for the show I took to Edinburgh, the sketch show, the narrative sketch.
Right.
So, I actually won a video camera in a magazine, from a magazine, and I used that to make this commercial, and it turned out quite well. It's quite funny. So from that, I can't really remember the timeline now, but then I was making, Muldoon, went on to make Muldoon, and then, oh yeah, so Goodbye Goodbye was my sketch show. And I got a small part in a sitcom called Pulling, the Sharon Horgan show, which is absolutely fantastic. And that kind of changed a lot for me as well, just getting a small role in that. I met, I met Sharon, but I also met Kevin Perkin, who is my co-star in Blind Date, which is my first proper short film that did festivals, and won a couple of awards in America and got me TV pilot and got me my agent. So it basically kicked off everything for me. So Pulling, getting that little job on Pulling, I met Cavan, and he wanted to start up a film club using his people that he's worked with over the years, who, because there's so many people in the film business who do one particular job, but they're very interested in doing other things. So there might be a cameraman or an editor who wants to direct or act or write or do sound, learn different skills. So Cavan's plan was to get all these people together, and every month we would put together a crew and make a short film. And you couldn't, there were loads of rules. It was a bit Dogma-esque. You couldn't do the same job 2 months in a row. You could only do one job per film, one job on each film. And so you couldn't do directing and editing or whatever.
Right.
You could just do one thing. And so we had, we'd have a meeting, we'd set it up, we'd decide what the theme of the film was, we'd decide who's the writer, who's the director, who's the editor, producer, who are the actors, blah, blah, blah. We'd write things down and put them in the hat and sort it all out that way. And then, so the writer would have like 2 weeks to write it, and then they'd shoot on a Sunday. It's called the Sunday Film Club. You shoot the film on one day, and then the editor has 2 weeks to edit it, and they bring it back the next month, and we watch what they've got. And we, at the next meeting, we also plan the next film. So it worked like that, and it worked really well for about 1.5 years. And we had about 18 films, and we also made two feature films came out of it, and Blind Date came out of it. Oh, quite a few really good short films came out of it. So yeah, it was deemed a success. We don't have a website. It's so funny. The funny thing is we did not even get together, and we didn't create a website. So the films aren't online. It was just something we did for ourselves. And we had a couple of screenings. We'd invite people, but it was all about just learning new skills and meeting people and creating work. So that was just perfect for me. That's exactly the sort of people I want to be around. So yeah,
it sounds absolutely fascinating. And how long ago? You said this went on for about 1.5 years. I guess people just moved on and got busier with other projects. Is that what happened?
Exactly. Yeah, I think it started in about I think I shot Blind Date in May '99, so I think it started in '98.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that sounds like a great way of getting.
No, sorry. Wait, where are we? 2008. I keep doing that. I'm going back 10 years. Oh.
I wasn't sure.
Thank you. That's so long ago, but to me it isn't. Oh yeah, 98. That's like a couple of years ago, right?
That's right. I've been wandering around completely convinced we're in 2018. I have no idea why.
That just means nothing, does it, when you hit a certain age?
Well, I know why.
2018 as well, by the way. So 2008 is when that started. I got Blind Date in 2009, and we premiered it in 2010. So yeah.
Right. Okay, and I know one of the other things that I noticed you have on your website is She's Behind You.
Oh, yes, very proud of that.
How did you get? I presume you knew Sarah anyway before you started stalking her on film.
That was the second time I met her when I made that. We met on Twitter, and she loved Muldoon. That's what. She loved Muldoon and said, "I think that's hilarious. I would like to do something with you," because she's an author, and she's Sarah Pinborough.
Sarah Pinborough we're talking about, yeah.
Very prolific. She started out in horror, and she's sort of moved into crime. I mean, she's just all over the place with her genres, and she's just going from strength to strength. I mean, it's just incredible the stuff she's done.
She's even written for television as well. She's on UK. She's actually got the Stephen King blurb on, the line on her front cover of a recent novel as well. And Neil Gaiman is a big supporter and fan of Sarah's as well.
Yeah, and Neil Gaiman actually a tiny part in She's Behind You 3, which isn't finished yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sarah, she saw the Muldoon series and said, I'd love to do something with you. Maybe you could be my assistant on a book signing or something. And I met her once for what we used to call twist-ups. There's a bunch of us on Twitter who met, and we meet in a bar and call it a twist-up. And so I met her once, and then she was like, "Oh, you should come to the World Horror Convention in Brighton." So a bunch of us went down, and I brought my little flip camera, and I went, "Look, hi, I've got my flip. So how about I just be a bit of shall I just play your stalker?" And she was like, "Yeah, go for it." That was it. That was pre-production, and we just went from there. And the thing is, it was so funny because Michael Marshall Smith, who is an incredible author, and he recently wrote a big series. I can't remember who it is. Simon Johnson. He's quite a big name in the community, the horror community, and basically I sort of interrupted a reading of his on the first night by asking questions about Sarah Pinborough instead of him. And at the end of the Q&A, the organizer of the festival went up to him and went, "I think we've identified the weirdo at the convention," meaning me, and she was like, "Do you want me to get rid of her?" It's okay, I'm 99% sure she's a writer comedian, and luckily he saved it. I could have got kicked out of there, but I had people coming up to me going, "Oh my god, I can't believe what you were doing in there." I was just basically, I think I've just got a really mischievous side to my personality, and I enjoy making my friends laugh and making other people feel slightly awkward. I don't know why. Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's a very. We've had some questions coming. One is from Adam Hell.
Hello, Adam.
Who I suspect you know. Yes, yeah.
I was in one of his films. We got you, John Salt. Brilliant film.
Oh, okay. This is from Adam, and this is a short film, which is how I met you, is when I saw this film called Vintage Blood, which is your most recent film to go on the festival circuit. Vintage Blood has a tales of the unexpected, peculiarly British atmosphere. What attracts you to this aesthetic? I can't speak.
Wow. I think I was brought up on it, and a lot of us were in this country. I actually used to watch Tales of I used to watch Tales of the Unexpected. That's what we watched at home, and loved it, and loved the portmanteau horrors. It was just my taste, really. I think, yeah, I like horror comedy. I like dark comedy, but I don't like camp. You know, I like it be, and a bit silly, but I take it seriously at the same time. And I think that's what those Tales of the Unexpected did.
Yeah, because these were for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most may well have seen them. If not, you can just look at them they're on YouTube, and they're broadcast at the moment on British TV, Virgin Media, TiVo, etc. Is based on the book of short stories by Roald Dahl, Tales of the Unexpected, and that's what the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 programs were basically. Things like Royal Jelly and Leg of Lamb are all Roald Dahl short stories from his collection, Tales of the Unexpected. But then they got other writers involved and so on, and it was a little light. Dark Tales from the Dark Side and Twilight Zone, etc. All those brilliant short form TV shows. And Adam does have as a second question. Have you noticed? And actually, sorry, I want to interrupt myself on that one. What sort of film? Okay, so apart from Tales of the Unexpected, what would you say were your favorite type of horror movies in that case? What can you think off the top of your head?
Well, my mother is a massive horror fan, so she would let us watch anything when we were kids. And in fact, she encouraged us because she was a bit scared to watch stuff on her own. So she would let us stay up. And one of the biggest, the most terrifying ones was Salem's Lot, when it was shown as a mini-series, obviously the David Soul one. Oh, amazing. Absolutely petrified us. We all slept together. Yeah, so yeah, all the Stephen Kings, Pet Sematary, I love all that. He's such a great storyteller, and they were such fantastic adaptations. So that kind of stuff really, and you know, Creep Show, videos. I used to rent videos and always go straight to the horror section. Didn't matter. Right. I didn't care. We just rent anything. So yeah.
Interesting.
Those are my influences. But I also like, there's a lot of people making horror now that I really like. I really like Ty West, his stuff. Well, I really like The Innkeepers and House of the Devil. And I saw The Witch recently. I thought that was fantastic.
That's amazing. I saw that last year at Celluloid Screams, and one of my favorite films from last year. Just because it's, if you haven't seen it, folks, do recommend seeing The Witch. Absolutely historically.
Yeah.
And it's so. It's a follow-up question from Adam. Have you noticed other filmmakers doing the kind of Tales of the Unexpected thing, similar sort of vibes, or do you think that Vintage Blood is anomalous?
As a short film, I think I haven't seen much like it. I think short horror often will rely on the gore, I've noticed. and maybe pay less attention to the characters and relationships and the performances and the subtleties of that. And then you kind of go, and then you go, oh God, that's horrific. Oh, well done. Okay. And there's quite a lot of that going on, which is, you know, a thing, and that's fine. But it's hard to say, but there's so many short horrors that I haven't seen yet that I'm very excited to see. I think I've heard people keep saying that the portmanteau or the anthology is back, and that is really exciting to me because that's what I want to do for my next project. So, I mean, Vintage Blood is a mini portmanteau in that it's a story within a story. It's almost like a practice for my main thing, which is
right.
So I don't know. I guess I think I don't know. I think my things are very me, if that means anything.
I think you're very. This is one of the reasons I really enjoyed Vintage Blood, as you say, because it's like the Night Whisper. It's like it's about chilling people, intriguing people, the characters, the real storytelling and so on, but also very real as well, and just very grounded in reality. And oops, and I've just dropped my earpiece, so I'm going to carry on talking for 2 seconds because I won't be able to hear you.
Oh, okay.
I'll put my ear... Really? Yeah, I'm going to put my earpiece back in. I'm just going to nail it. Yeah, I'm just going to nail it in my ear now.
I didn't bother putting them in because they just fall out, so... Yeah,
I know. So... Okay, so some more questions coming in from the audience. And just before we get there, John Shelton has shared a video link, folks. So please on his. We will look at this afterwards. John, happy to have a look at your short film. Thank you very much indeed for sharing it with us. We'll look at it after the show. Just a quick shout out for John on that. But a proper question, a question from Kim Lehman. Hi, Kim. Thank you very much for joining us again. Abigail, are you a fan of remakes? And if given the chance, is there any film that you would like to remake or reimagine?
That's interesting because, well, okay, first part of the question. It's not like I'm a fan, but there are some great ones out there. I wasn't mega keen on the Evil Dead remake. I didn't think it was necessary. And I haven't seen the Carrie remake because I still love the old one. But then, you know, there's the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the Donald Sutherland one, which is a remake, which is a fantastic film. So, and The Thing. And so we have films that we love. You know, I'm saying we as in, you know, our generation. That are remakes that we didn't even know were remakes. So it's a really tough one. I think some remakes are great, some aren't. As far as are there any I would remake? I've never thought of one I'd like to remake. There's a book I want to adapt that I'm trying to. Which we're basically nagging the author to see if she'll let us, or let me. But that's kind of falls. It doesn't really fall into the category, but it's a book, and I want to make it into a film. I want to remake it as a film. I don't know. Yeah. Apart from that, I don't have any.
Nothing. No. Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah. It's a question that often comes up on the show, and I think absolutely right.
I'll probably think about it after this.
Of course you will. Yeah. And if anything occurs to you later. If anything else comes up, just give us a shout.
Okay.
This is from Derek. Hi, Derek, who runs his own YouTube channel, Scottish Geeks. Do you find YouTube to be a useful tool for practicing your improvisation? We're talking about improvising, and do you find
No, a camera is a useful tool for practicing your improvisation. Do not put bad things on YouTube. Don't put anything you don't think is good up there. So as far as practice goes, yeah, sure. If you film something and you like it, put it out there. But don't go, yeah, I think, yeah. So do practice and use a camera, and because with my Muldoon episodes, I will do 20 takes before I'll go, yeah, I'm happy with that, I'll put it on. So even though it's improvised, I'll do it a lot, and I'll keep building on it, and I'll repeat something from the one take that I thought was funny, but then, so yeah, improv takes practice, obviously. There's two I made with my brother Matt, the ones where we're talking over each other. That's my brother. And
I was going to ask you that. I have to say that one.
Yeah,
that one is genius. I was looking at it. It's the sort of thing you just think that, and you were both improvising this. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, but we know, because we're brother and sister, we're very familiar with each other's minds, and I know that he'll say the stupidest thing and the most awkward and annoying thing possible. So I know which way to go. I'll probably so. Yeah, yeah, I love that.
And just for those of you without, I don't think it's going to spoil. The reason why I love it particularly is basically it's two people talking to camera at cross purposes. They have both, supposedly they're talking together and sharing the same ideas. They're not, and you can just listen to the two different voices saying completely the opposite without apparently acknowledging what the other one has said at all. Just these two monologues running at
I'd love to do more of that with him. I think it's just funny. It's just a fun thing to do.
Oh, sorry, we lost you there for just a couple of seconds. Are you there? Oh, I can see Abigail's face, but we may have lost her slightly. I love this show. This is the most technically challenging show I think I've done. Hi, Abigail. No, we apparently appear to have lost her. I think we might have lost. I'm wondering if the battery or the charging just frozen. No, Abigail appears to have left. Okay, folks, bear with me for just 2 seconds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try messaging Abigail just to see. We've lost you. Why on earth do I think that typing something into Facebook when I think her laptop has died is going to work as a method of communication? Really not certain why that might work. I do actually have, funnily enough, I do have another thing. So if you bear with me for just one, I do actually have another method of contacting her, which I'm going to try and just see if we can keep this, because I'm enjoying the chat so much, as I knew I would. Though it doesn't appear to bear with me. I'm just going to try this, folks. If this doesn't work, then I will call it a day, but I think it's worth just trying. 7, 9, 0, 5, 3. So I'm just hoping that I've actually just typed this number in correctly. The wonders of technology. I'm going to try calling. Oh, she's disappeared. Hello. We've lost you entirely. If you go into Facebook, if you go into Facebook, oh, there you are. Yes, you're coming. I can see. Yes, I can see you there. Film4 Tiles. Yes, hopefully. Okay, I'll ring off. Okay, cool. All right. Right. Hi, Abigail.
That was meant to happen. Totally meant to happen. That was weird.
I'm going to try and keep. I'm gonna
Oh,
try.
oh no, what's happening now? Oh, wait.
Are you still there? I can see you. Can you see
Okay,
me?
good. Yeah, I can see you're
You are
tiny.
there.
You're tiny.
I'm tiny. Okay, it may just flash up and backwards and forwards and so on. Okay, so I'm going to try and I'm just going to click on a different screen just so that I can get the next question up. John Shelton says, thanks for sharing his thing. It's really interesting question.
Using us to advertise his own stuff. Is that what's happening?
I admire the chutzpah. I've always admired people's chutzpah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you
Running
know,
around going, here's a link.
There's a link, and I'm just going to.
Did I give you a link? Yeah, sorry. So, no, fair enough. Better be good.
It better be good, John. We are going to talk about this.
Better follow up some quality, all I can say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I do encourage you, probably better, there is a Chattering with Nicholas Vince group, John. Please post your links on there if there's stuff you want to share rather than during the show. But hey, I encourage everybody to, who shows some chutzpah. Derek, this is a really interesting question. Derek also asks, do you have any unusual preparations or rituals you do before performing or writing?
I contact the devil, obviously, the master. Sacrifice to the master. That's about it. Everyone does that. Do I do anything? Lots of makeup. I don't know. No. Sorry, man. No, I guess I just try and be as prepared as possible. I just try and know what I'm. Well, I mean, what's he asking about, improv or?
Just before performing or writing. I mean, I can't believe I just knocked it out of my ear again. What I was going to say is that we had Katie Bonham, who you met at Jonathan's Women in Horror Month. Was around here, and about half an hour before we were going, I was like, "Oh shit! I haven't done my speech. I haven't done my voice. I haven't done my ritual." Is like, I always do a speech thing because to help me actually speak during this show.
Right.
I have to do voice and speech exercises, but the one that was cracking her up is the one that I learned when I was at Mount View, funnily enough. A very nice speech exercise, apart from Peter Pecker, is hugger mugger fucker bugger sugar brick and then another. Yeah, you heard that. That's a very effective one.
Do it again.
Hugger mugger fucker bugger shit a brick and then another.
Oh wow! Hugger mugger shit a brick and then another.
Hugger mugger fucker bugger shit a brick and then another. Get your tongue around that. It's just.
You should put your brother in there as well somewhere.
You just get incest into your
Always. That's what I do with Operation Incest. That's what.
Cool. All right. So,
I'm just being honest.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. And I believe honesty is the thing. What you've written for both TV and film. Did you find? Yeah. Do you find what's the difference between writing the two? Is it just the length, or is there anything you consciously have to think about? It's obviously both film, visual, and sound. Yeah. But are there different disciplines when you're thinking about writing for TV and film?
In my experience, I've written for film basically for myself. So I've never really written for anyone else as far as film is concerned. But for television, everything I've written for television has been as a commission. So there's always going to be a script editor there or producer who's giving you notes, and you're in it with them. So you're constantly pitching to them, you're constantly talking to them about the project, and you kind of sold it to them before you start writing on it. So that's the obvious difference. In the film, I never expect to make any films or get films made, certainly not features. So I've got 2 feature scripts that are finished and basically ready to shoot. And I never expected, or I don't expect either of them get made. Let's say one of them might be getting made this year, but you know, touch wood and all that. I kind of wrote them as specs and writing samples, and to prove that I could do it, not only to other people but to myself. I needed to get these out of me, and then actually these scripts got me television work. So you know, so I enjoy writing for TV. I developed a show for BBC Scotland, and I got to the scripting stage. I wrote the first episode before BBC Three decided, unfortunately, they were going to move to online and they weren't going to fund any drama at that stage. So
right,
that was a real shame. But I love that script, and it still gets me lots of meetings, and I still want to make it. You know, I still think it could be an amazing show. So I really enjoyed it, and I loved working with my script editor on that. It was an amazing year. I learned so much. It was like being at film school, just from what I learned, you know. And sometimes, and also it taught me how to take notes, and that's incredibly important. If you want to write in TV and film, but mostly television, you have to know, you have to be able to take notes and go, yeah, okay, great, I will think about that. And you have to, if somebody says, I had this, after about 2 or 3 drafts, he was like, something's not working, I'm not really sure. Let's go back to the beginning and do what they call a page 1 rewrite. And I did it. And then he went, yeah, I was wrong. Let's go back to the last draft. And you can't go, what the fuck? You've got to go, okay, but you've got to try. You've got to try. It's part of the job. So I ended up with a great script, even though it hasn't been made yet. Damn it. So yeah, very different. TV, your tend to be working for someone else. Although a friend of mine just wrote an entire series off his own bat, and just wrote 4 episodes, and that has opened a lot of doors for him, because he's worked in television a long time, and he just went, I just want to write something for myself. So he did that, and now everyone's like, wow, this is amazing, come to us, here's some money. So you know, that works too.
Do you think that is that thing of, I'm just going to write this for myself rather than for an imagined audience?
Oh yeah. We don't know what the audience want. And somebody once asked me, oh, my son wants to write, he wants to get into film writing. What are people interested? He doesn't really know what people are into these days. And I was like, that doesn't make any difference. You write what you write. You're wasting everyone's time if you're trying to please anyone, unless you've got a script editor you're trying to please, or a channel. But yeah, if it's something you have to write, then someone will like it, hopefully, if it's good.
Interesting. That's very interesting, because out of this conversation, Kim is asking again, kind of a follow-on about remakes, etc. Is there a television series that you'd particularly like to write for?
Yeah, loads. Well, I'm just watching Better Call Saul second season, which it's just ridiculous how good that show is.
Sorry, what was the show again?
Better Call Saul on Netflix.
Better Call Saul. Okay, yep.
Better Call Saul. It sounds terrible with an English accent. Better Call Saul.
This is the Breaking Bad.
It's just
a spin-off, yeah.
Fantastic. And I love, I mean, same with Breaking Bad, that the amount of time they gave themselves to, you know, they devoted to the scene work. They could have a scene that lasted 20 minutes, and it's just incredible that, you know. So yeah, I'd love to write on Breaking Bad. I would have liked to work on, to have worked on True Blood. I just really enjoyed that show. So when I first signed with my agent, she went, are there any shows you'd like to work on? I went, yeah, True Blood. She was like, really? How are you supposed to do that? And also, I think it was just coming to an end. So I'd like to revive True Blood. Yeah, Twin Peaks, I'd like to revive. Oh, that's happening, isn't it?
Oh, that's true, yes. Yeah, yeah, new version.
I don't think he needs any help.
Yeah.
Puppy. These are all shows that have been and gone. I'd love to work on anything Joss Whedon writes. I'm not big on comic book stuff, but I'm such a huge Buffy fan. And I really liked Firefly as well, and Dollhouse. So I like his style because he's very funny, but also very dark and serious. It just suits me perfectly. Oh, there's loads. Happy Valley, I thought was obviously brilliant. Everyone loves that show.
This is a BBC, this is a UK show.
Yeah, actually a UK show. I'd like to write a thriller, but I'm not really sure what. I've had some meetings and people ask me what I want to write, and I am busy on another project at the moment, but I would like to come up with a great family thriller idea for TV. Do that.
Right.
Something sort of inspired by Animal Kingdom, the film, but sort of that hard hitting, you know.
Animal Kingdom's just coming on as a TV series.
Is it?
It is. I know this because one of my friends has been working on it. In it's set in, but because have I got this right? Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Yeah, go. Okay, that's sorted.
Yeah. Okay, Animal Kingdom. Cool.
Yeah.
So, and another question just come in from Joe. Do you ever get kind of stuck, not necessarily writer's block, to use the phrase? Do you have a way of getting around writer's block?
It depends, like what stage of the work you're at, really, because if you're working on something, I've been on jobs that it's just torture, but I have to sit down every day and just do it regardless. And what I will do, I have a good way of getting around writer's block. This is a Jane Espenson trick. Jane Espenson worked on Buffy and various other shows. She does a thing called writing sprint. And she goes on Twitter and she says, right, in 20 minutes, we're going to start a 60-minute writing sprint. Work on any project, any job, whatever, for 60 minutes. And she goes, right, go. So that's kind of what I do as well.
Sorry, losing you.
Right, so yeah, Jane Espenson 60-minute writing sprint. So I do that. Although she's in the States, so her timing is off with me, so I don't join hers. So I'll just do my own, and I'll say, no one's ever joined me, but I just go on Twitter and I say, right, I'm going to do a 60-minute writing sprint inspired by Jane Espenson starting now. And because I find that once you get to if you can get to an hour, if you can work for an hour, you're generally in a groove, and then you can keep going. But the problem is turning off your Facebook and your Twitter and all the other rubbish. So you go 60 minutes, turn off the Wi-Fi. I write in cafes as well, so I'm not at home going, I'll just watch this DVD to inspire me.
Right.
So I have to write in a cafe. I'll turn off my Wi-Fi, and then I'll put a timer on my phone, do 60 minutes. And usually at the end of 60 minutes, I'll just tap it again. And quite often I'll do like three or 4 hours if I'm getting into it. So as long as I do 1 hour, I feel like I've done, I've achieved something. So.
It's very interesting. I tried the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes and then a 5-minute break. And it's just that concentration.
Yeah.
I have to say that after 25 minutes, I don't want to stop. I don't want to take a break. I just want to, I'm in the groove now, and I want to go with this stuff. I want to get this stuff into my head. Okay. We've actually more or less been going for an hour now. On
and off.
The actual broadcast itself is probably going to be closer to an hour and a half, but I will put in links to show so you can get past me just going, we're going to be doing something, and this is me typing to you, Abigail, just trying to get this resolved. I say totally at this end, no idea why
we should do a follow-up after Vintage Blood is online, maybe, or once I've done my next thing.
Absolutely.
I'm just inviting myself back here.
Yeah, you're invited. Oh no, please, absolutely. If necessary, I'll just bring you over. You can sit next to me.
Right. Oh yeah.
So it worked with, it's absolutely fine. Abigail, this has been really, really interesting. It's fascinating view into your writing and so on. So talking about Vintage Blood, this is on festival circuit now. Have you got any festival screenings coming up?
Yes, we're playing at Loco Film Festival at the BFI South Bank next Sunday, Sunday 4th, at 1:30, and it's a fantastic program short, so I would highly recommend anyone come. It's just going to be brilliant, and that is our final. No, it's not our final UK screening, I think, or is it? We've got one more at the Hen and Chickens, part of the Unrestricted View Film Festival.
Right.
And
sorry, we missed the details of the BFI in London. Sorry, so what is it again? It's
Loco Film Festival, which is the London Comedy Film Festival. It's been running for 5 years, and it's absolutely brilliant. And it's on at the BFI South Bank, short one at 1:30 next Sunday, the 24th of April. Come, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it sounds really, really good fun. I'll see if we can do that. Okay, brilliant. All right, we'll keep out. Just go to abigailblackmore.co.uk.
Or follow me on Twitter.
Follow you on Twitter. And because then you can do the writing. I'm going to sign up to make sure. I'm going to see if I can keep an eye out on Twitter. I'm really bad at Twitter, as anybody who knows me knows. But I will keep an eye out for your writing sprints, because that sounds like a very good idea. I'm just going to say thank you very much indeed for joining me and keeping with it. And thank you to everybody who's...
oh, you're going to get it. Thank you. I've really enjoyed it.
Good. Right, just to let everybody know, there is actually going to be no show next week because I'm at a wedding. Both Craig and I, in fact, are going to be at a wedding. Really looking forward to that. The week after, Kate Shenton will be joining me. Kate has done quite a load of short films, just including a documentary on suspension.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah, I can't watch it, but I know I want to, but I can't.
I haven't sat down to watch it yet, and I'm wondering just how far through. I have to watch all these things. I'm really fascinated by the idea. I mean, I couldn't even watch A Man Called Horse, which is Richard Harris. I couldn't watch, but obviously with my background and I have obviously met an awful lot of people in my time who tell me all about the suspension that they do, so I'm really looking forward to watching that. So Kate's going to be joining me on the 1st of May, and then a week later a guy called Jonas Govert, who is the writer-director of a film called Cub, a horror film called Cub, which is really very, very good. It's all about Boy Scouts and children, and it's really very, very interesting film. He'll be joining me as well. So we've got some great guests, apart from Abigail, coming in to join me. Abigail, thank you very much indeed for joining me, and just say good night to thank you.
Thanks everyone for questions.
Yes, thank you to everyone for questions. I didn't invite people on live because of the technical issues. I just think it was going to break. We might have broken the internet if we'd done that. Yeah. Anyway, this has been Chattering with Nicholas Vince. I've been chattering with Abigail Blackmore. As I say, 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be chattering with Kate Shenton, and I look forward to seeing some of you